Hi.
Thanks for coming.
Hey, girl.
Thanks for coming.
Oh, grrr. Hello, America, and thanks for coming.
Hey girl, it's Stony.
It's Jamal. Hola.
And it is Seth, and we are here for another week of Thanks for Coming. How are you guys doing? Did you guys have a good week?
Yeah, my week felt like forever, but it was still a good week.
Yeah, mine was good. I went to the gym, so I'm like a twunk now. So
Whoa.
yeah, I like walked around like a track for like 2 laps. So now I'm a twunk, right?
Yeah, I think so. That's how it works.
Bust out those tanks.
Well, I just went to the dentist this morning, so that was really exciting. I found out that breathing through your mouth can cause bacteria and gingivitis and cancer.
Oh yeah, I did know
So
that.
basically, we're all screwed.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, not. I guess it doesn't necessarily cause cancer, but they were basically. But the dentist was like, yeah, when you breathe through your mouth, like it gets rid of the saliva in your mouth, and saliva is like nature's protector for your mouth. And I'm just like, I don't know, like what you want me to do here.
Right. What do you want me
What
to
are
do?
you suggesting? That I just hold my breath?
Like seriously, like every time you go to like I should have been a dentist because I could just shade people all day and make like tons of money. Because like,
Oh, we should start our own like. Well, first of all, we have to be a dentist, but we should start our own like dental place. And
I am
call
not playing in anybody's mouth.
and call it like the shade.
I will.
The shade dentist or something.
The shade-tist.
Shadist.
Yeah.
The shadist.
The shadist.
the shade is. That just sounds like sadist.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that makes sense. I see it now. But yeah, so basically if I like move the wrong way, I'm going to get a cavity and die.
Ugh.
So be careful, everyone.
Outside of the dentist, have you had a good week?
Yeah, outside of the dentist, I've had a really good week. I went to a nice Moroccan tapas place for dinner last night with my coworkers, and it was delicious.
That sounds really good. Moroccan food is one of my favorite types of food.
Yeah, that is really good.
It was bomb. We had a good night. I was really tired though, and then I came home and watched like an hour and a half YouTube series about Jeffree Star. But we'll touch on that later in the episode. So for now, we kind of wanted to start off by just kind of addressing some listener email because we had some emails about last week's Gay Tribes episode.
Yes.
So we did have an email from Nick, our heterosexual correspondent who appears time for time on our podcast here. Hey. So he listened to our podcast, and so it seems like one of his comments was that it seems like all the descriptions of each tribes that was read off by Jamal, that he thought that they focused a little bit too much on the looks and not as much about the mental aspects of each tribe.
Yep. So that's part of me wanting to read the descriptions and kind of touch on the traits that were pointed out is because, like we mentioned on the show, a lot of those categories are built upon what the person looks like. So we wanted to kind of pull it away from that and have some fun with the topic, talking more about ourselves and outside of our sizes and what other ways do we identify and how.
Yeah, I definitely agreed with his email as far as you can be, a twink or a bear, and it can be based on your personality. But, everyone's visual, so they go straight to the like image first thing. But I think, we kind of touched upon it on the podcast a little bit last week where we said, like some, like you can be femme and like masculine at the same time, like have a masculine look but also be femme. So yeah.
And Nick's email also broke down like some notes about Stony and I, just he knows us pretty well, so personality traits and why we fit into the categories that we got on that quiz. So thank you for that, sir. That's what we were trying to point out. Me, for example, he said, I'm like the take charge, look out for the family type. And then for Stony, I can absolutely see Stony as a twink because when I think twink, I think more of a submissive type and not necessarily in a negative way.
Yeah.
Just like a go with the flow, like
Right.
not trying to like cause any waves, that type of thing.
Right.
Yeah, and then for me, he said that like as a bear, he thought that matched because I'm very vocal, I don't hold back, I'm more aggressive in my thoughts, and that I'm not afraid to go to taboo places on subject matter. But as far as that, I just blame listening to a lot of Blink 182 when I was growing up and having a very immature sense of humor.
It got you there. It got you here.
It did, yeah. Look at me. It started at the bottom and now I'm here. And now the whole world's hearing me. I don't know.
Roar.
Rawr. But anyways, no, I thought it was really like interesting reading his email because he kind of put our conversation into a perspective that I hadn't really necessarily thought of myself. So I enjoyed getting other people's observations on our conversation, and he also wished me luck on the future podcast within the details about Call Me by Your Name. So
Yes.
we hope you're enjoying that podcast too. If you haven't listened to the Call Me by Your Name queer movie review, make sure to check it out. It's on our channel and ready to listen live studio audience. So that's kind of our wrap up from last week's podcast. So what do you think? Should we go ahead and get into the main topic, our honest tea spill of the week?
Honest tea.
Yes. What are we discussing today, ladies?
Gay icons.
Gaycons.
Yeah. Gaycons.
Gaycons, yeah.
It kind of just sounds like you're calling Akon gay.
I was too excited to say that. I'm like, I'm proud of myself.
Let's hashtag that Gaycons.
Hashtag Gaycons.
If you want to tweet us.
There's going to be like something weird that's hashtag Gaycons. We probably should have checked that out first.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to see a lot of weird shit in our ads, huh?
It's going to be like some like prison, like porn or something.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, God. I hope not. Watch out, you dropped your Gaycon. So we're gonna go ahead and similar to our for our favorite things episode, we're gonna go around and tell you things that are our gay icons to us and why, and we'll just kind of do a little round robin survey of this situation.
Yeah. So should we start with maybe sharing briefly like, what makes each item or person iconic in our opinion, because people hear icon and it means different things. And I know me personally growing up, I had my examples, but I didn't necessarily latch on to any one person or thing, but I definitely had heavy influences.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think, there's the typical ones like Madonna and Cher and Celine Dion and stuff like that. But I don't think that...
So someone who's like of a star power kind of entity and presence.
Yeah, I think that's kind of... Well, that's kind of where I take it because I'm really like into music. So when I think of Gaycons, I think music in that field. So for other people, it could be different.
Yep.
Maybe Stony's gay icon is going to be like Laura Croft or something. I don't know.
Oh, shit, bitch. That's a good one.
Yeah, that wasn't really like my gay con whenever I was like growing up, but I don't know. For me, it was like more TV shows and stuff. There was like certain characters.
Okay, so more media.
To. Yeah, and I don't know. I always like, as like a gay kid, I was always rooting for, I don't know, that fierce like bitch that was just like telling people off, and like she was kind of the underdog.
So you were probably also playing with all the like girl characters on Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter.
Oh, I did that too.
Same.
Absolutely.
Same.
Sonia, all about it. Yep.
Yeah, Sonia.
Hers was the best because like I forgot what it's called, but one of her moves like showed like, wasn't it like a kiss that she blew and it like showed the lips or something? I don't know.
Like that. There's all kinds
like
of stunts and shows in that game.
She kissed like blue kisses and it just,
I
like,
think
killed you or
so.
something.
I forget, but I just remembered like I was like, oh man, she's so badass. She's like kicking people's asses and then she's like just blowing kisses and like being like, what up?
Yeah. Well, I guess for me, like if I think about a gay icon, it's kind of generalized. I'm kind of like Seth. I will go to, your superstars first, always music for me. But I think that there are other, aspects of life where you can get that influence too. So we can jump into that when we start to share with you all who those are.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess we'll just go ahead and go take turns now, just telling our icons, our Gaycons, if you will. So to switch things up a little bit, do you guys mind if I go first?
Of course not.
Do it.
So as I said before, the gay icons to me are music related. So my first musical artist that to me is a gay icon is Stevie Nicks.
So
good
Yeah,
choice.
Stevie, work. Sorry, I had to do that.
That's like Gia God impression.
That was my Thorgy Thor impression. Because like when I was like kind of doing a little bit of research to talk more about her, like so many articles about Thorgy Thor, quote unquote, saying Stevie Nicks is not a gay icon popped up. Like it was hard to find like any actual articles. It was all about like Thorgy Thor and like the All Stars situation.
Ugh,
Yeah, I remember that.
those are terrible memories. I don't want those
I know.
back.
Thorgy Thor left too soon. Anyways, so to me, Stevie Nicks is a gay icon because she's really always been supportive of the gay community. In Out magazine interview, she said, "I can say that I'm so glad that gay people like my music because I have never looked at gay people as different from any other people." She even added that she thinks the idea of coming out is naturally unfair to gay people. She said, "The idea of carrying that secret around would have killed me. If I were gay, the second I knew, I would have said, okay, everyone, this is how it is, and you either still like me or I don't care."
That's cool.
Yes.
That's basically how I came out.
So to me, I think that's really cool of her, like, you know, her growing up in sort of like I don't know if you would call it the hippie-ish era, but you know, the free love and free thinking era with Fleetwood Mac.
You took the words out of my mouth. Free love era.
You know, she, I'm sure, had, you know, lots of gay people that were, you know, she was friendly with and knew and that sort of thing. So another fun thing about Stevie Nicks, and this is what she credits to finding out that she was a gay icon, is because in New York City, there is an event called Night of 1,000 Stevies. And it's like this long-standing like event where guys and girls all come dressed as Stevie Nicks. And they have a contest and they vote on who the best Stevie is. So you know, you can win.
Yeah, that would be fun to see
That's
in person.
awesome.
Like, I listened to enough Stevie Nicks to appreciate that.
Yeah, it's a really cool event. And actually, in a movie that I enjoy, it's a 2001 movie called Gypsy 83. The plot centers around this gay teen and his friend who is obsessed with Stevie Nicks, and she wants to go dressed as Stevie Nicks and win this contest. So it's a really cool movie. If you're like a goth kid, like the gay kids, like this like goth, like sort of like the Cure looking kind of like guy, and I really related to him. He's not necessarily my gay icon, but I really related to his character. And I just wanted to read like a short quote from the movie that I most related with. So his female friend, who identifies, you know, her name is Gypsy, and so
Of course.
she says, I mean, it's like throughout the movie, I think everyone just kind of assumes that he's gay. They're in a car driving to this Night of 1,000 Stevies, and she says, "Are you gay?" And he says, "Yes, but I don't have anything in common with those people. I mean, like I give a rat's ass about Judy Garland or Stonewall." So, so I really related to that because, you know, growing up, like I was really interested in like different things than the stereotypical, you know, gay community is into, like pop music and dancing and that sort of thing. Like I wasn't, before I really like totally understood what drag was and how fun it could be. So I really identified with that quote a lot, you know, even still due to this, you know, to a degree. You know, I don't know, I guess I don't know, maybe I'm not like different at all, but I just don't really always like buy into the same things that all of the gay community seems to be into.
Yeah. I mean, we all have our own experience as gay men, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I always thought, like, when I think of you and you're, like, kind of, like, the music that you're into, I think of more alternative and things. And like, to me, that fits with Stevie Nicks because she's not like a pop singer or anything, you know, like running around stage like Madonna or something.
Right.
So I think that makes sense for you to like have her as your gay icon.
Yeah, she just twirls a lot, which is about the dancing capabilities that I have.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What I think is also really cool about Stevie Nicks is that there's kind of a lore around her. You know, if you listen to her lyrics, there's a lot that references, you know, the witchy side of life, which I've always been into. So I've always appreciated that aspect of her person, really. You know, it's part of her character, the way she dresses, the way she presents. And I don't think we've really heard her speak much on that, but it kind of adds this like fantasy aspect to her, which is cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I think similarly, I identify with her a lot for that, you know, aesthetic as well. You know, growing up, I was definitely like a emo kid in like high school and college and stuff like that, which Jamal's seen a lot of.
Oh yeah.
So I similarly, you know, relate to her with her like darker aesthetic and witchy sort of aesthetic. So to me, she's someone that I really enjoy, like a lot of her music. I saw her in concert maybe a little more ago, and it was just like a really great night. And I don't know. So she is my number one gay icon for the podcast.
Slay Stevie.
Yes. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Stony, what is your gay icon? One of yours.
One of my gay icons. So like I said, a lot of my gay icons were more about like what was on like TV or media, not necessarily music. So for me growing up, one of my favorite shows was X-Men, and it was like the X-Men cartoon.
I watched that.
So like,
Yep. Same.
yeah. And like, I don't know. To me, the reason I think of the X-Men as gay icons, which maybe some people don't see it from, you know, if you're straight or something, you never saw it from that perspective. But like the whole premise of X-Men is just like these people that have like different abilities and people will just kind of like treat them badly. And like everyone's just like, you know, oh, these are the mutants. Don't like talk to them or don't be around them. So it's like, obviously you can relate, and like Professor X is there to save the day. It's just like, oh my God, like I am an X-Men.
Yeah,
like,
you're the mutant of today's society, right?
yeah, because it's like as a kid being gay, like sometimes you can kind of go in that dark place, but like watching that cartoon, you're kind of like, oh wow, this is just, you know, I can make this a gay thing. Like I can relate to it, I guess, and it gives you like a shimmer of hope, I guess.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
No, that makes total sense.
Yeah, I definitely wrote a paper in one of my gender studies class about the X-Men movies. So I definitely also agree with you on this analysis.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like one of those shows that like I just loved so much as a kid. And like even now when the movies come out, like I like immediately have to go and like see it the weekend that it comes out. It's just like an iconic series for me.
Maybe just a quick quick fire round. Which X-Men do you like identify with, or maybe it's just your favorite X-Men?
That's a good question. So I was never the type that was like into the whole Wolverine thing because that was just like boring to me. So for me, it was, well, on the cartoons, I really liked Rogue because she was just like this powerful bitch and she could just like fly around and like nobody could touch her. So it was like just really awesome. And then also Storm. And then like, I don't know, I always thought Jubilee was fun because of the fireworks.
Jubilee, because you've got a little extra sparkle.
Yeah. I'm like, yes.
Jubilee's was awesome. And like at work, there's this guy and he's like really like interested in comics of all types. And I always try and tell him how awesome Jubilee is. And he's just like, Jubilee's one of the weakest X-Men. I'm like, but she was so cool.
I know. Like, I keep like getting annoyed on the X-Men movies because Jubilee's like never like given any like screen time really. Like
She gets a second or two.
Yeah, like I wish they would actually bring her on and like try to make her like a main character. I think that would be really interesting.
So what about you, Jamal? What do you think is a X-Men that you like?
Well, I have to say Storm just because she's a bad bitch. X-Men, I love them. I probably was a huge Nightcrawler fan, super close second to Storm, but I always related to Storm because my mood and my personality is very much like the weather. It just depends on, if I start my day off and I'm in a great mood, it's probably going to stay that way. If I'm a little dark and cloudy, I might be a little snippy or quiet, slightly standoffish. But she's also this force. She can create this tornado. She can bring out the sun when she wants to. So it was kind of like a reminder to me growing up, like, it's a reminder that you have that control over how you're going to make that day,
Awesome. Seth, what about you? What X-Men do you like?
Well, for me, my top is Mystique because she's just like, I don't know, I think she's the coolest one because she can just change to be the shape of like any person that she wants to be. So I always liked that because in college, like I would always like remember would like try and like turn looks. I'd be like, tonight I'm gonna be like this look, or I'm gonna look like this. Like one time, it was like a smaller gathering, but I think it was like a black and white theme party, and me being my emo self, like I just painted my face completely like pale white and put on some like eyeliner and stuff like that, and people thought I was really weird. But
oh my God.
So I was just like doing stuff like that in college, and then other than Mystique, I would say probably Rogue. I liked her a lot too. Because I sort of like keep people at a distance myself. So I'm always like, in a sense, when she puts the gloves on so that if someone touches her, like she doesn't kill them basically. So that's, I feel like I kind of related to her for that aspect of it.
Also, random thought here, but whenever I was in high school, there was this girl like a year ahead of me, and she had like this white streak in her hair like Rogue on the cartoon, and I was like obsessed with this girl. Like I never like told her because I was like, oh my God, you're Rogue.
You're like real life X-Men.
This is so cool.
But shout out to that girl wherever she's at.
You don't even remember her name.
Shout out to you, stranger.
Oh gosh. Well, what about you, Jamal? What's a Gaycon for you?
Ooh, so my first Gaycon is going to be a music artist, of course. So Janet Jackson.
Oh.
So Janet is my Madonna. The queens go up for Madonna, Cher, respect to them as well. But that was the music I remember hearing first as a young child. Those are the music videos I remember most vividly. All the choreography I used to know how to do. That's why I stand so hard at that Drag Race finale when Aquaria even had the knowledge of any hint of that If choreography, because that was one of Janet's more intense dance videos. And I was like, oh, look at this bitch slay on stage, Miss Janet. Janet's always turning a look. She never looked the same on stage. Her shows are always super over the top and so well choreographed. She was the Beyonce of her time. Nobody's shows looked like hers. And she was giving you full 8 counts, singing live, cutting it up just as good, and if not better than Michael sometimes. So I just always respected that and looked up to her, and I still do.
I always loved, I don't know, I was never a huge Janet Jackson fan, but I love to see her dance. I think she's like amazing.
Yeah.
She still has kind of those like Michael Jackson moves.
Same. I think I said this before, that her single "All for You" is like the first thing I ever bought, the first piece of music I ever bought. So I feel ya.
Yeah, that was a really great song. I see that video in my head right now.
It's all for you. Sorry, I'm gonna ruin it. I gotta stop.
I'm sure it's on YouTube, kids. Go look it up.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna watch the video after this recording.
She was in Indy last year. I hate that I didn't go to that show. I don't know what I was doing, but she was here. Maybe next time.
I don't know. You're probably like putting on your drags.
Maybe work in my corner.
Yeah, girl. So I think we've all had like a round here, and so our connection's like being really bad. So we're gonna take another break. We got a little message here for you, and then we'll come back with more Gaycons.
Sounds good.
Right.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening to our podcast so far. Thanks for coming. Right now, we're probably refilling our drinks, or maybe even gluing down our lashes again. While you wait, here's some things that you should check out.
Yeah, remember everyone, you can email us, tfcpod@gmail.com, and tfcpod on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
Oh, and one more thing. You're not my real dad, and you never will be. Anyways, back to the show. All right, we're back. Hopefully we have a better connection so we can continue a strong second half of this conversation.
Yes.
God damn it.
Gotta love the internet. I know. They're so homophobic. Boycott them.
Drag her.
Drag her.
Get
Come
her.
through, Comcast.
Come on, Xfinity.
Let's get sickening. Oh. Well, anyways, so let's continue our conversation about Gaycons. My second Gaycon is going to be another musician, and his name is Elton John.
Sir Elton John.
Whoa.
Nice one.
Yeah, girl. So Elton John is probably the most like popular gay musician in the world. He first came out as bisexual in 1976 in an interview with Rolling Stone.
Mm-hmm.
And then in 1988, he announced that he was comfortable being gay. And he has been in a committed relationship since 1993 with his partner. They have 2 children together. In addition to traveling and playing music, he also has his own charity foundation. It's called the Elton John AIDS Foundation. Mm-hmm. And for decades, they have raised money, and they've raised, the figure I found, they raised over $200 million for AIDS research.
Wow.
And yeah, a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
And he also advocates for LGBT rights as well.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, he's like another big like influence to me because my parents kind of introduced me to that, era of music.
Mm-hmm.
And they even took me to see Elton John in concert when I was 15, which was in the year 2000.
Oh my God.
I feel like Elton John is like the gay community's like fairy godfather, like everyone respects him and his story and all the things he's done to help the community. So that's a great pick.
Yeah.
I've always appreciated Elton John. I've never been like a huge fan, kind of like Janet Jackson, but my dad, he would listen to a lot of classic rock, and obviously Elton John was there. But one of my first memories too was, I feel like it was after Princess Diane had died. Mm-hmm. And didn't he like release a song or something?
He re-released Candle in the Wind in honor of her, and I think he donated money to a charity of some sort.
Yeah, that's what it was. But yeah, my mom really liked that song, and she would listen to it all the time, but she was a big Princess Di fan, so...
Yeah, Elton John is just like, I love a lot of his music, and I'm actually flying to Florida in November to see him on his farewell tour with my parents.
Yes, you are.
So excited. I saw them with my parents the first time. I thought it would only be right to send Elton John off with them again.
Mm-hmm.
So one interesting thing, though, that I found out while looking into more about his life was this song that I hadn't heard before, but it's a really great song. It's called American Triangle.
Okay.
And it's a song that he wrote actually just a few years after Matthew Shepard was murdered. And so this song is about Matthew Shepard, and he, was initially involved with helping to raise awareness about the situation with Matthew Shepard and to help just be involved and, help to get the story out there so that his death could be, there could be some good that comes out of it.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a really great song, and I just wrote just like a quick little snippet of the lyrics so that you guys can get a sense of Elton John and I guess what this story means to him. It says, been there drinking on that front porch, angry kids, mean and dumb, looks like a painting, that blue skyline, God hates fags where we come from. Western skies don't make it right. Home of the brave don't make no sense. I've seen a scarecrow wrapped in wire, left to die on a high ridge fence. It's a cold, cold wind. It's a cold, cold wind. It's a cold, cold wind blowing. Wyoming.
Oh, wow. I'd never heard of that.
Yeah, I would recommend that song for everybody to listen to. I'll try to remember to post it next week after we release this podcast because it's just a great song. And I mean, Matthew Shepard's a gay icon in his own right. So yeah, so that is another reason that I really respect Elton John because he doesn't shy away from issues like, this horrible event that took place. And I just enjoy his music overall. So I'm super excited to see him in November. And that's my second Gaycon.
Nice.
Yes.
Stony, did you have another one?
Yeah. So I don't really have any other specific gay icons. I guess, though, I thought I would talk about some of the music artists that I was really into as a kid and that the ones that I always looked up to. And again, it's always women for me. And I always like the centric ones. So I was always a Cyndi Lauper fan.
Cindy.
And
yes.
even now, or it's not now, but I would say maybe 10 years ago, 15 years ago, she released that Into the Nightlife song.
Oh, yeah.
Which I love so much.
Into the Nightlife. Is that it?
Yeah.
Into the Nightlife.
Well,
yeah. Okay.
You sound way worse than her, but.
Yeah. Well, I can't sing, so you'll have to put your ear goggles on.
Sony's no, actually, that's not it.
I was
Rude.
always a also Janis Joplin fan. I love
Yes.
Janis Joplin. Just the raspiness of her voice and just how she was just, I don't know, she was an icon to me because she was that underdog and she just didn't give a shit and just, I don't know. I just love her.
Yeah. At one time I had a dream that I was hanging out with Janis Joplin and she was driving me and another friend around town, just hanging out, showing us around this wherever we were. So yeah, I love her too. She's the best.
I forget the picture. There's that iconic picture of her where she's sitting on a porch and she has all this shit in her hair. I don't know, I can't think of it, but it's just the perfect Janis Joplin picture.
I feel I might have an idea of what you're talking about.
And I feel people also make baby dress their baby up like Janis Joplin. I feel that's a thing.
What?
Yeah.
I feel I sort of look like Janis Joplin right now with my long hair.
So yeah, maybe all our listeners.
Work, Janis, yes.
If any of our listeners have a small child or baby, please dress them up like Janis Joplin and send us a picture.
Oh no.
Yeah, with the hippie glasses.
Gosh.
So, and then I don't know, just a few of my others. Alanis Morissette was always a huge icon of mine.
Oh yes.
Yes.
I love Alanis.
She's just so angry and just so wonderful. Gosh, I'm blanking on the album I used to listen to all the time.
Oh, Jagged Little Pill.
Yeah, Jagged Little Pill. But
yes.
Got it.
Yeah, so that
Come through, Jagged Little Pill.
So yeah, those are kind of, and then obviously Lady Gaga, I love. That was more obviously whenever I was graduating college, but those are kind of some of my more, I guess, gay icon music artists.
Okay.
And I guess maybe just to quickly add on to your Alanis Morissette, you know, another like awesome thing that she did for the gay community is she re-released Jagged Little Pill as an acoustic album, and then she changed one of the lyrics in an ironic to saying I'm not gonna mess it up now, but it's like something like isn't it ironic, meeting the man of my dreams and then meeting his beautiful husband.
Oh, that's cute.
So she changed that lyric because I think it was like, you know, originally a heterosexual couple in her song. So
Shout out to you, Alanis.
sorry, I'm like a Alanis Morissette nerd.
Yeah, no.
No, that's awesome. I didn't know that.
Now I like need
You'll have to listen.
Yeah, I have to listen to that album after this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, get the acoustic one because it's cool and it's like different way. It's definitely a different like vibe to it, but it's still equally as intense and angsty.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
What about you, Jamal? What's your gay icon next?
So I'm going to take it in a different direction and say a show as well. So when I was young, sneaking watching HBO, a little show called Queer as Folk would always be on. And I would, I would get to, watch that. Also looking over into the dark hallway to make sure nobody else was up while I was watching this. But I started to kind of learn, more about not myself, but maybe where I would be going potentially, not necessarily gay Pittsburgh, but I wasn't out. I was kind of discovering who I was as a young kid too. I knew I liked boys, but I also knew I was really young. So this was all very interesting. Of course, there were sex scenes and, talks about drugs and HIV and AIDS, same-sex marriage and, kid adoption, all kinds of stuff. So it's a show I still like to watch. I've watched the series maybe 4 times total, so it's cool.
Heck yeah. It was a good series, too. Like, I think I had a similar experience. We were old enough that I downloaded these episodes from Napster.
Nice. Napster.
Oh, my gosh.
Shout out to Napster.
So how did you have, like, dial-up then, or how were you doing that?
Holy shit.
Yeah, we had dial-up, I think. Yeah.
You were, like, it probably took, like, 5 days to, like, get one episode.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah. It would take a couple days to get an episode, for sure. And then, like, they would take up a lot of space, so then I would burn them to CDs and then hide them and, like, try and find, like, code languages to write what episode and seasons were on what disc so that if, like, someone else found it, they wouldn't know that I was watching Queer as Folk.
Oh, my God.
I had a whole system.
Make Yeah, I did the same thing.
So, yeah.
I bet the quality was so bad, too.
Oh yeah, it was horrible quality. It was like so grainy, but I could like at least make out which person was which and what was happening.
Those were like the Real Player and QuickTime Player days.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Woof.
Winamp.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Those were the original playlists. These kids don't know these days, but that's how you made playlists before Spotify.
That's right.
Yeah, I think like summer of like 2009 or 2010 was the last time I burnt like a bunch of CDs. And then I was like, oh yeah, there's a smartphone and you can like use it.
Yeah. I remember like saving porn on hard disks, the little floppy disks.
Oh. Yep.
You could store like 5 pictures on a disc.
Oh my God.
So bad.
Yeah, I totally used to do the same thing. If I were like sneaking pictures, they were saved on floppy disk and they were mixed in with like my school stuff. So they were hidden, but they were in plain sight.
I don't think I ever tried that one. Never tried floppy disk.
Yeah. That was probably really awkward for Mr. Johansson in English class when you had to hand in your floppy disk.
Oh no, they were color coded, so I never that color.
Oh yes,
that color stayed at home.
Did you guys?
Yes,
I feel like
on red means stop, so don't give the gay porn ones. Green means go. This is all my classwork.
I feel like
yellow is a mixture of both. You never know what you're gonna get. School paper or porn.
I kept it simple. It was purple. No purple at school.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, because purple meant gay back then.
One time when we were in school, I feel like this probably happened to other people, but you know how like you would watch movies in class? Well, like this one kid took the movie and put in the porno without the teacher knowing, and the porno started. Oh my god,
no.
she was so pissed. And like
no.
all of us were in like shock.
Oh my god.
Yikes! That kid had some balls.
Yeah.
Yikes!
How long did it go for? Like before?
It was like barely like because it started and then like it was just like showing like we didn't actually see anything. It was just like kind of like you could hear the sex noises and it was like a shadow on the wall. And then she was like freaking
artistic.
out and pulled it out. Yeah.
Wow, that kid probably got suspended.
Yeah. I forget like how they found out. I think somebody just like ratted him out.
I'm sure
Duh.
someone spilled the tea.
Process of elimination. Yeah, they did. The tea overfloweth on that day.
Oh my god.
Wow. All right. So let's maybe go around one more time. Jamal, do you have another gay icon?
Ooh, my last one is just for funsies. Very close friends of mine, new and old. We all love us some The Devil Wears Prada. So my last gay icon is no one other than Miranda Priestley, the queen herself.
Yes. Fierce ass bitch.
Yes, I strive to be Miranda, maybe a little nicer, but just a bad bitch doing it in the corporate world, slaying, taking names, writing checks.
I feel like Miranda's as nice as you would need to be, though.
Right.
I aspire to be exactly the level of nice that Miranda Priestley is.
That's a good point. I give people a lot of chances. Maybe I should step it up a notch, huh?
Yeah, it's always awkward when that girl comes to our house and tries to bring the book up to you.
Yeah. It's like
she still
might as
doesn't
well
know
have
where
just
to
gotten
put
in
it.
bed and cuddled with her.
I told her to put it on the table in the foyer.
I know. Our house is just so huge.
Across
She
from the
gets
closet.
lost or something.
Across from the closet. That's right.
Next to the flowers.
Maybe you guys should just be my new executive assistants.
Not
Yes.
doing it.
Yeah, but
Stony, coat bag. Get my coat and bag, Stony.
Stoney's like, my name's not Emily.
Jamal just walks by and throws his coat in my face.
Reynold is in the corner like, she means you.
She means you.
No, but I love that movie. I can go on and on about it. I've read the book a few times. The movie is a slightly different adaptation, but I enjoy both forms of that story. If you have not seen it, I highly recommend it. I watched mine so much I had to buy a new DVD, so that's how good it is.
You know what I did? I did the same thing, but I had a roommate in California who also owned The Devil Wears Prada, so I actually switched our DVDs out.
Of course you did.
Had the old one.
You're so
And I took
shady.
the good one.
Of course you did.
Wow.
My Miranda Priestley instincts took over. I couldn't help myself.
Seth's like, I'm working smarter.
That's some shady ass shit right there.
Duh. Better watch out, people.
How about you boys?
Oh,
Any last
gosh.
ones?
I think
Do you have another one, Stony?
Yeah, I think I've covered mine.
Okay, so Stoney's
Okay.
good.
I have one more that I would like to discuss, and my last gay icon is another musician, and his name is David Bowie.
Fuck yes.
So,
Yes. Talk about
yes, I love David Bowie because I feel like he was like sort of like maybe like the grandfather to punk almost, because he was so challenging in his imagery that he used. He had several different personas that he used throughout the years, which is like, kind of I sort of alluded to before, like, with Elton, with whatever our conversation was that I can't remember now. So with David Bowie, he was married to his wife Angie in 1970, and then after that he was on the cusp of fame, and he told the world that he was gay. And he said in an interview with a media outlet called Melody Maker, he said, "I'm gay and I always have been." And then 4 years later, he told Playboy magazine that in fact he was actually bisexual. And then later on he said, but I can't deny that I've used that fact very well. I suppose it's been the best thing that ever happened to me. So, he eventually was like, no, he's always been with women, he's been married to women. So he's like, I'm actually straight. But he sort of like, I guess maybe those sexualities were part of his agenda. And there's always been like question. There's always been that rumor of like him and Mick Jagger sleeping together.
Yeah, that one's always been hot, that rumor.
Oh, yeah. Another thing that really makes him a gay icon to me is that on Top of the Pops, which is a television show in England, they showcase like the top number one single of the month or week. I'm not sure how often it is. They have that artist come and perform the song on the show. So with 14 million people watching, he was performing his song, and he put his arm around his guitarist and was staring intensely into his eyes. And I know it sounds like kind of lame now, just like putting your arm around someone, but back then that was like, a great moment for young people, struggling with their sexuality. So that was cool.
Just communicating that, this is fine, check it out.
Yeah.
David was always very forward that way as well.
He was very androgynous, looks. He had like the Ziggy Stardust with the lightning bolt.
Yeah, that's your emoji in my phone.
Yeah. I'm like such a big Bowie fan. So in an attempt to move away from this Ziggy Stardust phase, he actually admitted that he was heterosexual. And but regardless of his actual sexuality, it's really clear that he became like a revolutionary icon for the gay community, because he was pushing the boundaries of what was and was not acceptable, and his own sexual ambiguity helped others gain courage to express themselves. So, and you could almost even call him a drag queen before the drag queens really went mainstream, like with RuPaul's Drag Race and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's a good point. I would agree with that.
So I love him and all his different characters. He's like so cool. I wish I would have gotten to see him perform live, but unfortunately I never got that opportunity.
We don't have any Bowie vinyl, and it's a tough decision to... sure, we can buy them all, but I kind of like the idea for us with our record player to pick like our favorites, and I don't know which Bowie album to buy. I know I want one.
Yeah.
Man, it's a hard recommendation
right?
to pick just one.
That's tough. So.
Because I feel like Ziggy Stardust, The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust, that's like probably the go-to album, I think. But other good ones are Aladdin Sane. I liked that one a lot.
Okay.
Pretty much any one, like even Let's Dance, that was a good one. That's like an earlier one, or Space I don't remember if it's self-titled, but the one with Space Oddity on it.
Okay.
You can't go wrong. Any era Bowie that you go with is really cool.
All right.
Yeah, that's definitely a gay icon for sure.
That's massive.
Yes, Gaycons.
Well, that was fun.
That was our little segment here. So should we move on?
Yeah, what's next?
Next is our Thanks for Coming segment.
Oh, right. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming, girl.
Hey, girl.
Thanks for coming.
Oh, grrr. Hey girl, thanks for coming.
We're still learning the new format too.
Yeah, girl. I got my little outline over here, so.
No, it's fun. I'm kidding. What's on the thanks for coming docket this week, boys?
Well, we have a couple stories, nothing like significant really, but we found out this week that Trixie would be coming to Indianapolis.
Finally!
And she's like added more dates to her Moving Parts tour.
Yes.
So Jamal and I will finally have an opportunity to see her, because our summer was just so busy. We could not make it to the other shows.
Yeah, and we were really trying to find a way to make it to one of those other out-of-town shows, but it just wasn't going to work out schedule-wise, so we're pretty pumped about this. Even though it's the weekend, I was going to paint.
Oh, well.
I can do
Girl,
both.
you can just be there and Trixie will be painted, so your job will be done.
Yeah.
I guess.
You're right.
I'm very excited for you guys to go see the show. We'll have to discuss what you guys think. I think you said it was in November or October?
October.
Yeah, October.
October 4th.
Did you see Trixie? I'm not sorry. Sharon Needles and Alaska are touring England together, like for
Yes.
Halloween season.
Yes.
I'm so jealous.
I know. They always do the cool Halloween shows over there.
Ugh, Sharon Needles in Alaska would be awesome to
Yeah.
see together.
That would be a badass show.
Sharon always says that she likes Halloween in England because she says people do it better. Like they dress up like actual scary like characters, not just dressing like slutty like we do here.
I can
In America.
appreciate that. I'm sure it's pretty awesome, especially with like the scenery of the UK and all that good stuff.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Drama.
So that's cool. I'm jealous of them. And then in other news, I kind of talked about it earlier, is the Jeffree Star series with Shane Dawson on YouTube, which is like my current gay obsession because I was obsessed with Jeffree Star. When I was living in LA, one of my friends at that time was dating one of Jeffree Star's like friends, and so like we thought we were like so cool, but
You're like, we're 1 degree separation, whatever that saying is.
yeah, sort of. But even though like my friend, like Jeffree, actually hated him
Oh no.
from like the Stickham days. So, but
Womp
it's fine. But yeah, no, I've really been fascinated by Jeffree Star since, you know, back then in like 2000, probably starting in 2006 or 7. And because I remember like you could find like barely anything, but I was always watch the clips of like Jeffree popping off at random people. And it was just like, yeah, you tell him, Jeffree, like you tell the homophobes what's up. And so yeah, so this is like a trip down memory lane for me, and I'm excited to see these last 2 parts of it. So if you guys are into that, let us know.
Okay.
Or if you guys think Jeffree Star is too problematic, let us know that as well.
He is friends with Kim Kardashian, so.
And James Charles.
Ah!
Ugh.
James Charles was in one of the parts because he did the makeup for Shane Dawson to look like Jeffree Star. And I was like, yes, Pei, put on that makeup.
I hate everyone on this like thing right now.
Shaking my head.
Whatever, hater.
SMH.
Bye. So that was another interesting story in gay news this week. The other one was just Kim Chi and Yuhua like tweeting each other, like spazzing out on each other, but it was like so adorable, like you couldn't be mad at either one of them.
Oh, were they just like fangirling all on each other?
No, they were like trying to insult each other, but it was
Oh.
so bad that it was just like humorous.
Oh my god.
Oh no. Okay, I'm way off. Okay, so I need to go look that up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have it saved on my phone, but that's a lot of work to pull up right now, and I'm not going to make people wait around while we get our things up because we like to be prepared on our podcast. So anyways.
I do. Yeah.
So yeah, kind of a light week on news, but yeah, maybe next week there will be more interesting things like happening.
Yes, next week I'm going to see Pearl Jam twice, which is like one of my favorite bands.
Yo, that's
so,
that's gonna be a good show.
Yeah, I don't know if any of our listeners are into Pearl Jam, but if you are, let us know. And if I don't see a lot of comments, then I'll keep my Pearl Jam talk light on next week's podcast.
We'll see. The people should know about Pearl Jam.
I hope so. Like, I don't know. I always feel like the weird gay that likes Pearl Jam and like grunge bands and Jeffree Star, and nobody else likes what I like.
I think it's awesome.
So I do what I want. You can't tell me what to do. You're not my real dad, and
You
you
never
never
will
will
be. Oh my gosh. So should we like get to our next section?
Oh, is it time?
Yes, it's time. Trade. Oh my God. Trade.
Who looks good this week, guys?
Ooh. Who wants to go first?
We think Jamal should go first because he has his already pulled up.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, he was very proficient
I
with
know.
his trade of the week this week.
I've been staring at it this whole episode, just making sure the page stays up. You know, you're having connection issues. Sure, girl.
I'm sure you're making sure something stayed up.
So my trade this week is Instagram model Montana Volby.
Whoa.
So he used to be an Abercrombie and Fitch model, and now he's just like drinking way too many whey protein shakes, and he's got pretty big muscles and nice cakes.
Now that they like closed all the Abercrombies, like he's just like, I have to do something else now.
Pretty much. I'm pretty sure he's like a go-go dancer. I don't know. I think it's modeling mostly he might do. You know, Instagram model, everybody's a model. But they're huge
God,
in the fitness.
no way.
I know, right?
Get it? Whey.
Oh,
whey protein.
no. Get out of here.
Wow. You're like, that's the best dad joke of all time.
No. But
Dad jokes for days, Hanny.
shout out to The Only Detox and Jason Carter, one of the pit crew members, for following him as well.
Ooh.
So, yeah, he's just really cute. He's got a buzzed head. Cute, sharp features, if I can speak today. But yeah, that's mine. Montana Volby.
Yeah. He's a whole state and a half.
So my trade of the week is this, I guess his handle is called Ron Fit PT, and I can't pronounce his last name, but his name is Ron, and he's a personal trainer.
McNaughton.
Oh.
Yeah, but he's a very nice, good-looking guy. I'm pretty sure he's gay as well.
He is pretty.
Yes.
But he's just, I don't know, I need to be like trained by him, so
Makes me want to go do more push-ups.
because I'm like, I could be in this good shape, but not really, because that's a lot of work.
But we decided to play
Yeah.
Splatoon.
Yeah.
And you like popcorn, so.
Yeah. I just like need carbs every now and then, so
You just stop eating and then everything will be fine.
We've
But
been so
not
good
really.
today, though. Like, we haven't drank today. We're trying to be cleansed.
we're cleansing
For one whole day.
We're-
Hey, you know what I learned at the dentist today? That if you drink wine, it makes your gums inflamed. And you get gingivitis and cancer, and then you die.
Wow.
I need to stop drinking red wine.
The dentist is so depressing.
Yeah. Yeah, this was horrible. It was like if you breathe through your mouth, you'll get gingivitis.
This-
I'm like, what can I do? What can I do?
This dentist
Like-
office just sounds like a brick and mortar WebMD.
They are the nightmare for a hypochondriac, which I feel like I am a very mild hypochondriac. But if I didn't think that it was so ridiculous, I would buy into it more.
Oh my
Seth
god.
goes home and he's like flossing and dumping out all of his Merlot.
I have to dump everything out and put like gloves on and like put safety measures around my apartment.
Save those corks, though. We could make like a Pinterest doohickey or something.
Yes. I didn't drink any of them. I promise.
Oh my
I didn't drink
God.
them. I promise. It's fine.
Well,
Sorry, Dennis. Don't hurt me.
well, next week Seth will just be like, I haven't ate or breathed through my mouth all day or all week.
Yeah. I'll be dead next week. So I hope you guys are looking forward to Jamal and Stony all by themselves next week.
Yeah, we'll have another new format next.
Well, thanks for coming. I wish Seth could be here, but he's dead because his dentist said not to breathe. So,
Oh my god.
You know,
So-
Stony hates going to the dentist too because, no joke, he will say like, I don't feel like being shaded this time. I know what they're going to say. I don't
For
feel
real.
like dealing with it.
It's one of those things
Yeah.
like I just keep putting it off, so I keep canceling my appointment.
yeah, I might have to do that for my next one. We'll see.
Oh no, don't start this trend.
Oh, Lord.
Get your teeth cleaned.
If I had enough money, I would
Yes,
just have
everyone-
them knock me out like every time, just get it over with.
You know what I'm going to start doing actually is I'm going to eat one apple every day because I've heard that if you eat an apple a day, it'll keep the doctor away.
Oh, there you go.
And I need to keep them away
Solid plan.
forever.
Actually, I heard the skins on apples inflame your gums, so I
Oh
wouldn't
my
do
god.
No. Oh, my plan is ruined. God damn it, Stony.
No one's safe.
Anyways, I'll say my trade and then we can end this. Everyone doesn't want to hear us talk about the dentist for like 30 minutes.
Yeah, we could go on.
So my trade of the week is actually slightly cheating because it's two people.
Oh, bonus.
Because my trade are the Harry's twins.
Oh, the Harry's
IDK
twins.
Did you say UTI?
No, IDK WTI. I don't know who that is.
Okay, well, you're really missing out. The Harry's twins have been like maybe on YouTube that they started, and then they're on Instagram. But I don't know. I follow them, and this last week they posted a Instagram story of them both like completely naked with their cakes on display.
Oh.
So,
The Harry's
may have
twins.
Yeah. It's I don't know that they have like a together page, but it's Finn Harry's and Jack Harry's.
Nice.
And I definitely screenshotted that one just to put in my scrapbook. So
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Cake appreciation. How could you not?
yeah. We got a double-decker cake display this week.
Oh,
so
delish.
yeah. So that's my trade of the week. They are two gorgeous heterosexual brothers.
Hey boys.
Well, on that note,
now the things have gotten real weird. Anyways, bye everyone. That's the only way to segue out of this, right?
bail.
Bail everyone. We got to get out of here.
Remember, listeners, you can find us at TFC Pod on Twitter and Instagram, and email us tfcpod@gmail.com.
Yeah, and if you're real nice, I might send you this Instagram story that I saved of the Harry's twins.
Ooh.
But only through email.
Look at these incentives. Ooh, email, they can save it and screenshot it.
Yeah, if you leave an iTunes review and you email and let me know, and then I go read it to prove that it's there, I will send you the Instagram story of the Harry's twins butts.
no, what you can do is you can send them a picture of it on a floppy disk.
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah.
With the
Give
purple
me your
label.
mailing address.
Purple
I'm
label.
going to send you... Yeah, purple for sure. Purple for gay.
Good luck
yeah.
like using the floppy disk because computers don't have those anymore.
They'll be on Amazon looking for converters.
Yeah, like external floppy disk.
Woof.
Anyways, but yeah, do all that stuff. Reach us there. If you do leave us an iTunes review, this offer absolutely stands. And until next week,
Bye.